to sing this song. I'm gonna St. Louis and it won't be long, 'cause I'm wild about my loving. I like to have my fun. If you wanna be a girl of mine, bring it with you when you come. Sergeant Jones, Chief of Police, these women round here won't give me no peace, 'cause I'm wild about my loving. I like to have my fun. If you wanna be a girl of mine, bring it with you when you come. I don't want no sugar in my tea. These women round here, they were sweet enough for me, 'cause I'm wild about my loving. I like to have my fun. If you wanna be a girl of mine, bring it with you when you come. I keep you cool back till the Iceman comes, 'cause I'm wild about my loving. I like to have my fun. If you wanna be a girl of mine, bring it with you when you come. I wanna tell you people, listen to this song. I'm gonna see my girl and it won't be long, 'cause I'm wild about my loving. I like to have my fun. If you wanna be a girl of mine, bring it with you when you come. Oh, that was my version of Wild About My Lovin', originally recorded by Jim Jackson, and after that some other people. Please do open the video description below if you're interested in the tablature and some more information concerning the song, the guitar, the strings, whatever. So we're in drop D tuning. So you just have to tune down your 6th string to D, and the rest is like in standard tuning. So let's play the introduction first and slowly. So we're starting at the 7th fret with a D7 position. We're in G there, sorry, D minor. And we're starting with a slide. This is an indefinite slide. It's not from 2 to 6 to 7 or whatever. You start at the 0 and you just slide up and then release. Lots of double basses. If you're not interested in that, well, I think you can play it without double basses. Like you simply and so on. You simply keep the alternating bass pattern if it's that easier for you. But the double basses give it some bounce, of course. So that the 7th position chord at the 7th fret, you release the pinky and go to the 5th fret there. And the pinky does go to the 8th fret. And bend the 6th fret 2nd string. And then we go to the G7. Alternate G7. Fretting the 5th fret 5th string. And it's a lot like a bar chord, but since we're in drop D, you have to place your 3rd finger at the 5th fret 6th string to get that D. To get that G. Sorry. That's bar 6. Let's start bar 5 again. Slide. And then I'm forming a G7 chord with a thumb wrap here. And 3-4-3 for the 2nd half of the 6th measure. So D. And here we're going to a D minor 6th, pinky on the 3rd string 4th fret, and in that goes to the 1st fret 1st string. And of course, if you hear this, you're thinking about Tommy Johnson's Big Road Blues, of course. So measure 7. Nice move to a B7. That was measure 8. At the pinky, open, and then that B7. Little bass run there, and going to the E7. I just flatten my 2nd finger to get that E note on the 4th string, the 2nd fret. And then we're going to a very cool A9 sus chord. It's like a G chord, but with the open A bass. So that's the 10th measure. Back to D. And we're ending with the A chords. A7. And then we start the verse. I'll play it slowly and sing softly. Listen there, people, I'm about to sing this song. I'm gonna sing blues and it won't be long, 'cause I'm wild about my loving, I like to have my fun. If you wanna be a girl of mine, bring it with you when you come. You see, it's pretty much the same as the intro. And we have that same exchange between the D and the D minor 6 there. And I'm using my 3 fingers, one for each string, the 1st, 2nd and 3rd string. Sorry. Measure 16, there we go. So normal D chords, then I move the 2nd finger to the 2nd fret, so we have 2, 2, 2, and then going to a D7 and releasing for the open E string. So typical run to from D to D7. And you don't have to play that second beat bass, it's optional. Same as before, slight variations for measure 17 and 18 when we go to the G7. Slide, pull off, and then to that thumb wrap G7 there. And to an ending on the D chords. Measure 18 is that. Measure 18 one more time. And our runs there. And then instead of going to the E7 here, we're going to an E9 on the 7th fret. And that's the same as before. That. Now in the second verse I do a variation, which I did in the beginning of the intro, same principle, that chord up here. So, Sergeant Jones, chief of police, these women round here give me no peace, 'cause I'm wild about my loving, I like to have my fun. If you want to be a girl of mine, bring it with you when you come. Note the dynamics when I go a little bit softer there. Dynamics, of course, is something that you, well, you can personalize that to your own taste. Now in the third verse, that's not in the tab. I did a variation of the first verse, and it's I don't know sugar in my tea. The girl I love is sweet enough for me, 'cause I'm wild, and so on. So what I'm doing is, so the trebles do that, and just the first two strings with two fingers, and the thumb does. Sorry, it's like that. 6, 5, 4. Sorry, one more time from the start. Of course, you can use the first verse if you want, if that's more appropriate for you. But it's just a little variation in the thumbing of the bass. And notice the muting, of course, it's not. I'm muting with my right hand after I picked, of course. 8, 8, 7, 5, and bend the second string 6 frets. So that's it for the variations of the accompaniment behind the vocals. And I did a solo, of course, and we ending. And then I'm sliding up, and then the solo starts. So that slide up, that's not in the tab. And here's the solo. sorry. Yeah, here we go, measure 36. So we let that slide, and then 10th fret. Forming a D7. 5, 3, 5, 4. Thumb wrap, 5th fret, 6th string. Open, and then G minor, but just fretting 5th fret of the 2nd and the 6th string. Adding the index to the 3rd and the 2nd string. Pinky moves up from the 5th, 6th, 7th to the D7. And then without picking the 2nd string, I'm simply sliding it to a B7. And we have to, it's a normal B7, but with our 2nd finger on the 9th fret to get that B, of course, since we're in drop D tuning. So, one more time from the 32nd measure. I'm laying my 3rd finger flat and going to a E minor, A, but with addition of the A7, and I add the index to the 1st fret, and D. So that's it for the solo, and then we're starting again with Ain't no Iceman sound. I can keep you cool, babe, till the Iceman comes. Slight variation of the 2nd verse, the Sergeant Jones, Chief of Police verse. Ain't no Iceman. Before I did Sergeant Jones, I didn't add that 7th fret 1st string. That's different. I follow more the vocals here. Ain't no Iceman sound, but I can keep you cool till the Iceman comes. That's more or less. And I add, of course, I do it with double stops. Ain't no Iceman sound, I can keep you cool, babe, till the Iceman comes. 'Cause you're wild about my loving, I like to have my fun. Little variation there, I did. Let's do that one more time. That's what I did. And then simply what we did before, the from example measure 8. So one more time. Like that. What did I else do as a variation? Yeah, the when you go to the G7. A boogie, you can use that as the alternate, for an alternate bar, for example, for alternate as bar 9, or with the vocals as bar 18. So, well, I'm gonna people into the song. I'm gonna sing my girl and it won't be long. That's also a little variation. Won't be long. That's the same thing that I do in the 1st verse, measure 16, with a slight variation. I like to have fun. That's what I do. Up and down with the index and the thumb. pinky goes to the 7th fret. So that's it, and the ending what I simply lifted the 2nd string 3rd fret and open. And those harmonics, that's a D chord. It's like, but without the 1st string. So that's it for Wild About My Lovin'. Do listen to the original and the other interesting versions that I listed in the video description. Have fun!